it becomes harder for a team or a company to efficiently focus their efforts on the same goal. That's why the most competitive quality is to be able to move with speed. You need to have some sort of framework. That's where your product and company vision come in. Final ingredient here, the skill of the century, which is storytelling. And what dictates your ability to make all this happen comes down to one thing, your process. That's why I've spent years on what I've found has worked really well. Perfect step-by-step product innovation process. And here's how it works. The product innovation process is a start to finish guide that covers every stage of the full product development lifecycle. There are some lesser known generative AI resources in there as well. You don't have to worry about missing out on all the new hidden gems that are always coming out. Click the link in my bio to check it out. And just know that the link in bio tool you'll see, Cartel, was actually built using the same process. I want you to imagine being the captain of a big ship, navigating international waters, and you have a great big crew, but they all speak different languages. And now imagine there's a big storm, and so you can't travel in a straight line to get to your destination. Building and managing products can often feel like this, except you actually have to build the product or the ship in the first place. To work with engineers, designers, budget holders, the client, sourcing materials, deciding the shape and size, the infrastructure, safety and security features. Then you've got to think about the maintenance and how well the thing will hold up over time. And you get to do all this in the launch date given. Are you sure you're up for that? Because the world we live in today is noisy. There's just so much going on. And everyone has access to their own sea of information, which means there's so many different views and strategies on the same thing. So it becomes harder for a team or a company to efficiently focus their efforts on the same goal. Now, I've built products at just about every different team, environment you can think of. Startups, governments, small businesses, and large corporates. And no matter what industry I've been in, whether it was sustainability, fintech, automotive, geospatial, or even in the health and well-being sector, a pattern that I always see is how long it takes to build basic things. How much time and investment spent on aligning all the right stakeholders, making sure we all agree on the same thing. The features, the timelines, priorities. That's before even testing prototypes to see if people would actually use it. And what this means is, aside from all the opportunity cost, sometimes by the time you've actually released something to the market, more companies have popped up who are solving the same problem as you. And new technologies and trends have come out that are slowly chipping away at how future-proof your product is. That's why in this day and age, the most competitive quality is to be able to move with speed. You know, operational efficiency. And to make sure your decisions are not just quick, but effective as well, you need to have some sort of framework or logic of what you're actually mapping your decisions against. That's where your product and company vision come in. Having a vision is invaluable because it's the source of your focus to know where you want to be and what kind of impact you want to have on the world. So you and your team can prioritize and step by step get to where you want to be. So having clarity on your vision is everything, because if you're not clear on where you're going, you'll never get there. Clarity means cutting through all the noise of the world and to know what information you need to make a decision, to know what data is useful to you and what's not. Clarity also means being clear on the context or the story behind what you're building and why. And that brings us to the final ingredient here, the skill of the century, which is storytelling. The best way to stand out in a saturated market is being able to inspire others, to find a way to connect with them deeply by speaking to their beliefs and values about the benefits of your solution. Because at the end of the day, what's the use of building the best thing in the world if you can't get anyone to use it? And what I've come to realize is that to inspire your users on your product, you first want to see your own team believe in it as well. Because in reality, If you want to make an impact on the world, you have to first believe that you can. And on that note, I believe it should be every company's mission to create an environment where everyone is in sync and all the teams act as one connected consciousness, like a well-oiled machine where all the gears spend most of their time moving the needle forward in the same direction together. That's why I've learned to focus on making sure everyone has the vision at the front of their mind at each step of the product's development. And not just that, I want to have people around me who not only know what to do, but the best way to do it. The least we can do is keep ourselves up to date on the newest technology, like automation tools, to sharpen that competitive edge and really do service to our full potential. And what dictates your ability to make all this happen comes down to one thing: your process, obviously. Because when you're able to lean on a process that's catered towards speed, focus, clarity, and inspiration, well, those things are what you get. And a process doesn't mean you have to be too rigid or structured. As you know, real life is always humbling us to challenge our assumptions. We need to be adaptable and free thinking. But when you seek unexplored avenues and uncharted waters, you need some kind of a compass. Something that doesn't limit exploration but provides direction. So a good process is one that's dynamic. It serves as a firm foundation to use as a jumping point. Something that gives you the permission to innovate effectively. Your process enables you to take calculated risks because, it actually helps you calculate them. And ultimately, your process has to be something that involves multiple departments and rallies them all around the same product, the same vision, where everyone can be heard and feel clear on all their different roles and how they contribute to the entire product. In essence, the magic of a good process in this day and age is in its grounding ability to get everyone back into center and stick to the main mission. But most of all, your process needs to be something that everybody knows like the back of their hand. Oh, that's new. Sorry. And therefore it needs to be defined and written down somewhere. That's why I've spent years documenting and distilling all the best practices and learnings from what I've found has worked really well, and perfecting and chiseling it all out into the perfect step-by-step product innovation process. And here's how it works. The product innovation process is a start to finish guide that covers every stage of the full product development lifecycle, from discovery, design, proof of concept, to MVP, and going live. It also includes all the sub-stages and what to do post-launch. It's all on a cloud-oriented document that's alive with knowledge of who's responsible or accountable for what, and who needs to be consulted and informed on each stage in the process. The process document makes sure we all speak the same language by including things like the naming conventions for product development, where the product came from, what problem it's solving, how it's solving, how we got here and why. It would be a single source of truth for your product, bringing everything and everyone together in one place, which means you'll more easily be able to generate consensus across your stakeholders and investors by gifting them a satiating deep dive into the progress of the product. It does this through a checklist style approach that acts as stage gates at each major milestone. This way, you'll have some quality assurance of your work throughout the whole process, as there's some due diligence on the justifications of technical and financial related decisions made before progressing to the next stage in the product's development. You'll also have your deadlines in there, and the document also deep links off to other useful related resources and product management tools. Which brings me to probably my favorite thing about this innovation document, is that it shows you the best and newest tools to leverage at each stage. there are some lesser known generative AI resources in there as well that really kind of speed up your development. And since the document's always kept up to date by me and my team, you don't have to worry about missing out on all the new hidden gems that are always coming out. We've got you covered. You'll even be recommended KPIs based on your company's vision and what you're building. And there's templates for your problem and solution statements, persona mapping templates, there's elevator pitch templates, there's even a mini business requirements document in there, so it's all together in one place. And what this means is that you can spend less time on admin-related tasks and more time on value-added, higher quality activities, like actually testing your ideas at a reduced operational cost, meaning you can fail faster if necessary and adapt at a speed not many companies can. Not only does the product innovation process enable your team members to focus on what they do best, it also removes dependencies on any one individual, as any new hires or anyone covering those on holiday have access to the right information and future instructions to keep the product moving. So whether you want to align your teams, highlight some inefficiencies, fill some gaps in your product development process, look no further. The product innovation process is also perfect for those looking to train someone up to a product role, or for companies who want to hire a new product manager but just don't quite have it in their budget yet, which is perfectly understandable in this economy. The product innovation process is basically a world-class product manager in a document. I joke that it could actually replace me in my role, but as it improves over time, along with all these new ChatGPT plugins that are coming out, one day that might not actually be a joke. You can click the link on this page to audio copy of the product innovation process, and you'll also gain access to the live evolving document for life. And if you're watching this on social media, click the link in my bio to check it out. And just know that the link in bio tool you'll see, Cartel, was actually built using the same process. A process that has been like a versatile captain's manual for startups, corporates, and everything in between. That sped up our development by really ensuring we had the same access to the right information at the right time, while aligning us on the priorities of what everyone should be doing. It provided us with the clarity behind the context of why we started, what we're building, where we're at, and the vision of where we want to be. The product innovation process is a true operational masterpiece, built to navigate you like a lighthouse friend through the dark, stormy seas of market and human uncertainties, sharpening your crew's focus on the same direction. It's an essentially modern antidote to overinformation in the noisy waves of our world that gifts you and your team the inspiration needed to really ensure the resources go to the right place. Because when all these things come together, you end up achieving what you set out to do, which is create beautiful things that the world really needs.